Hello friends, colorful welcome to all of you once again. So let's move on to the application part of the chapter dimension, error and uh, units measurement. Okay, so uh, I have covered some of the various type of applications here, and it will help you on your board exam as well as the JEE also. Okay, so let's move on to the first numericals or first application. Find out the dimension of pressure. So to any find out the dimension of any quantity, we have to know about its basic expression. What are basic expression? Let's say pressure. So pressure P. So we have no idea what is P, but we know the expression pressure is defined as force per unit area. So we know the dimension of force. How we know the dimension of force? We know, again, to find out the dimension of force, we can say force equal to mass into acceleration, right? Mass is fundamental dimension and acceleration is derived dimension. Then again we can say acceleration means velocity into time. Again velocity means distance by time, velocity by time, distance by time. Now look at that, this distance, this time, this mass are fundamental dimension. So from there we can find out F by D and T. Dimension of D is L, dimension of T is T, right, and dimension of M is M, right. So from here we can first find out the dimension of velocity, then acceleration, then force, then the pressure, and area we know. Area means L square is just the length square. So from here we can easily find out the dimension of pressure. Okay, just find out that. Okay, next, if velocity is v and time is t, then find out the dimension of p, r and s. Here is the expression: velocity equal to pt plus r by s plus. Here in such cases, just try to find out which quantity or which parameter is known to you. So dimension of velocity is known to you. Here in that such equations, the dimension of each parameters must be same. That means, okay, we will collectively say pt, collectively a parameter, okay, composite parameter. Here total r by s plus t is a parameter. So dimension of v will be same as dimension of pt and the dimension of r by s plus t. Okay, so dimension of v of dimension of pt will be same. So dimension of v will be same as dimension of p into t, right. So from here we can easily find out the dimension of p, which is dimension of v by dimension of t. Just put the dimensions mlt like that and you will get the p. Similarly here the dimension of r by total r plus is r by s plus t must be the dimension of v. Now one more thing, a quantity can be added with that quantity which will have same amount of same dimension. Okay, so s can only be added to t if and only if s is having the same dimension as of t. So we can say s must have the dimension of t. So actually basically the dimension of r by s plus t is equal to the dimension of r by t, same, because s having the dimension of same of t. So it will be the dimension of r by t will be the dimension of velocity. So r will be the dimension of velocity and time. So a quantity can be summed to a quantity if their dimensions are equal, so that only s and t are summed up as they are equal dimension. So s having dimension of t, so r having dimension vt, s having t, and p having v by t. So it is actually the dimension of acceleration, it is the distance, and it is time. It's easy. Okay, let's find out the dimension of the Van der Waals equation, Van der Waals constant. Okay, now again let's take p plus a by v square, v minus b equal to RT. Now look at that, p plus a by v square. So this a by v square can only be added to p if that dimension of a by v square is equal to the dimension of p. That's mean a by v square, where v is volume and a is v is volume and p is pressure. So the dimension of a will be just pressure into volume square. It's easy. Just put the dimension of volume, it will be L cube, and dimension of pressure. Okay, and you will get that. Next, the dimension of v. Okay, again b can only be subtracted by v if and only if the dimension of v and b will be same. So dimension of v, b will be the dimension of v. So that will be L cube. Okay, don't write like that, try to write the proper way. Okay, m to the power 0 means 1, t to the power 0 means 1, L cube. Okay. Okay, next, okay. In such cases, e to the power vt square by ap, where v is velocity, t is time, a is acceleration, p is the parameter. So we have to find out the dimension of p. Okay, here it is on the power from. Okay, so any kind of power from having no dimension. So e to the power something, this parameter must have no dimension. No dimension means this total parameter, Vt total composite parameter, AP has no dimension. That's mean n to the power 0, L to the power 0, T to the power 0. That's mean 1. So the dimension of P will be just Vt square by A. So by putting the dimension separately, V, dimension of V, dimension of T, dimension of A, you will get the dimension. It's easy. Okay. Same as for log. So same as for log, Vt square by AP. So this must have been a dimensionless quantity because it is under log. Same for sine. Okay. So again P will be that. And if you will put V equal to LT inverse minus 1, m to the power 0, LT inverse minus 1, A equal to m0, L equal to, okay, put the dimensional equation or dimensional formula, L to the power minus 2, T equal to T. Then again if you put this, and you will get the actual result. So no need to think about it. Now come to that part. This is a complicated expression. So how to find out the dimension of beta here? So in such cases you have to be approached like that. Okay, you know the dimension of pressure, you know the dimension of distance, you know the dimension of Boltzmann's constant, you know the dimension of temperature. But I say the dimension of the parameters must have be identical on both the sides of the equal sign. That means P must be having the same dimension of alpha by beta, right? So P must be the same dimension of alpha by beta. Why we are not taking account the e to the power minus 1? Because e to the power whatever it is must have no dimension. Okay, e to the power whatever, you can say x, n, p, q, anything must have no dimension. That means dimension formula will be m0, L0, T to the power 0. Okay, so that means this total part must have no dimension. That means alpha z by k theta will have just the dimension of n0, L0, T0, or that's mean 1. So you can find out the dimension of alpha here. Alpha will be just k theta by z. Just cross multiply it. Okay, just cross multiply k theta with 1 and z on the division part. Then you will get the dimension of alpha. You will put that alpha here dimension. You know the dimension of p. So you will know the dimension of beta. It will be just dimension of alpha by dimension of p. So it's easy, just put them and you will get that. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part. 6. If the velocity of light c, velocity of light is written as c, g and h are taken as fundamental units, then the dimension of mass. Okay, so here we will calculate the back calculation. How? We know the dimension, we know the fundamental dimension or the fundamental units are m, l and t. So any of the parameters can be derived by those dimension. We know any of the parameters, suppose the parameter x, it can be like that, m to the power a, l to the power b, t to the power c, right? We know that from. So c must have in this form, g must have in this form, h must have in this form, and we know already c equal to lt to the power minus 1. The dimension of g and dimension of h also we know. How we know? We know the from Newton's gravitational power, g mm by r square, right? So dimension of g will be dimension of force into dimension of distance square by dimension of masses square, right? So it will be ml t to the power minus 2, that will be m to the power minus 1, l square l cube t to the power minus 2. The g dimension of g will be m to the power minus 1 l cube t to the power minus 2. And what will be the dimension of h? Planck's constant. We know E equal to energy equal to h nu. Energy having dimension ml t to the power ml square t to the power minus 2, and nu having the dimension of 1 by t. Okay, 1 by t, that's mean t will be multiplied, that's mean ml. So h will be having the dimension of ml square t to the power minus 1. So we knew the dimensions. So now we have to find out the dimension of mass if they are taken as fundamental unit. So we know the dimension of mass is already m, l to the power 0, t to the power 0. Now we have to relate them in such a way that will provide this form. So we have dimension of c to the power a, g to the power b, h to the power c. Now we have to find out ABC. We know L to the this form, so we will put L to the power L t to the power minus 1 whole to the power a, m to the power minus 1 L cube t to the power minus 2 whole to b, and m L square t to the power minus 1 whole c. So it will lead to the form of, okay, m0, take it m0, m0, m1, m2. So it will lead to the form of m to the power minus b plus c, right? And L to the power a, L to the power a plus 3b plus 2c, and it will lead t to the power minus a minus 2b minus c. So compare these two equation. That equation means m L to the power 0, t to the power 0, right? So m to the power 1 actually, so m to the power minus b plus c will be 1, a plus 3b plus 2c will be 0, and minus a minus 2b minus c will be again 0. So we have to just solve this equation and we will get ABC, value of ABC. Okay, so if we get value of the A, B and C, okay, let's solve it here. Okay, I will not take the space here because it's for video. Let's take it roughly. Okay, so this equation BC equal to B plus 1, A plus 3B plus 2C. Okay, if you subtract it, okay, 2C, just 2B, B my plus C equal to 0, B minus C equal to 1. So 2B equal to 1, B equal to half. Okay, B equal to half, A equal to half, and C equal to minus half. So we will get the solution b equal to half, a equal to half, c equal to minus half. So from here we can say the dimension of mass will be equal to the dimension of c to the power half, g to the power half, h to the power minus half. That's how you can easily find such applications solution. Okay, it will a little bit complicated for the objective type of questions, but it is the actual way. Okay, it is the correct way and accurate way. If you practice a few more, then it will be very easy and it will not be very much time consuming. Okay, then it will be easy for you. Okay, now come to find out the significant figures here. Okay, now 0 1 2 3 4 0 0 1 2 3 4 0. So what are the number of significant? This 0 is insignificant, this 0 is also insignificant, so only significant figures are 4. So here the insignificant figures are 4. This 1 2 3 4. Here next 0.012. Here also the significant figures, this 0, this 2 0, because they comes before a non-zero digit. Okay, and they are in decimal point, so these are not significant, only 1 and 2 are significant, so this must have two significant figures. Next 1.0023, already these 0 are significant because they contain in between some non-zero digits. Okay, so all are significant, so 2 to 4 5 significant figures. Next 1.2, okay, from here we can say 1.230 into 10 to the power 4. As this 0 comes after a non-zero digit and after a decimal point, that's why this is also significant. So all the numbers are significant here. So the total number of significant figures are 4. Next 0.012340. Now look at that. This 0 comes after a decimal point and after a 0, so these two zeros are insignificant, but this 0 comes after a non-zero digit and it's after a decimal point, so all the points are significant here. So that is significant 1 2 3 4 5, so 5 significant figures. Okay, here underscores means non-significant or insignificant, and the right sign indicates the significant figures. Okay, this right side. Okay, next 1200. It's easy. This 0 comes after a non-zero digit and there is no decimal point, so only this 1 2 are significant, these are non-significant, two significant figures. Okay, 1.23 into 10 to the power 4. Okay, in such cases don't go to that power form, just look at the first form. Okay, this is insignificant. Here three digits are significant, so the total number of significant figures are 3. Okay, now it's 1200 123 12.0000. Here these zeros comes after a non-zero digit and after a decimal point, so all figures are significant here, so 5 significant figures. 123.12300.00. Again this 0 comes after a non-zero digit, this 0, and this after a decimal point, so all the figures are significant. Okay, all the zeros, so 5 7 significant figures. Okay, you will get the rules or you will get the properties of significant figures in my previous video, just check that on my theory videos, you will get that. Next 8. Now for a sphere, the error in radius is 1%. This is relative error. Radius error is just 1%. So what will be the error in volume? So to find the error in volume, we will just have to know the equation between volume and radius. Okay, so we know the equation. Now we know if we just calculate it, it will appear the error del v by v equal to, these two terms are constant, so this will not lead to any error. Only this parameters is this error parameter will be varying with the volume, so this will lead, this power will come in front and the error will be like that. How? I already proved that on the previous section. Okay, on the theory part I already proved that taking log in both sides, differentiating them, and we'll get to that value. Okay, so the error will be in the volume will be 3%. Next come to it's 1 2. The error in mass measurement is 2%. Error is volume measurement is 3%. Then error is kinetic energy. So we know kinetic energy equal to half mv square. Bro. So half is a constant. It will not lead to any error. Only m and v will lead to error, as m and v having error. So del k by k will be del m by m. The power of m is 1. So 1 will come front again, plus del v by v, and power of v is 2. So 2 will come front. So 2 into 3% 6% plus 2% 8%. 2% plus 2 into 3%. It will lead to a 8% error in kinetic energy. Now comes to the number third example. Error in momentum 100%. The error in kinetic energy. Okay, so the error in kinetic energy here, there is no mentioning about error in mass. So we will not take the error in mass. So error in mass actually 0. Okay, 0%, or we can say mass is constant here. So only we will consider the momentum. Now we know kinetic energy equal to half mv square, right? So we have to make it momentum. How to make it? Just multiply m in denominator as well as m in numerator, m by m. So already mv square are there, so m square v square, and we know momentum is equal to p equal to mv, right? P equal to mv. So we can say it is half p square by m. So this m does not lead to any error, only p will lead to some error. So kinetic energy del k by k will be this 2, this power 2 comes front, and del p by p. Okay, these values only power will lead to change the expression of error. These numbers, these parameters m which are not making any error, will not consider any error on the kinetic energy. So the total error will be kinetic energy will be 2 into 100%, 200%. Okay, now come to the last part of the error. Okay, so x equal to ab cube by c square. So already we have done such equation, and already we have. So del x by x will be del a by a, because power of a is 1, so 1 will come front. Power of b is 3, 3 del b by b plus 2 del c by c. Now you will argue that c square is divided. ab is multiplied, abq is multiplied, so they are plus, but c square is divided. So again I will say the error will be maximized, as I have explained on the error, propagation of errors in the summation form. Okay, how the whenever you sum the parameters, you will sum the error. But whenever you differ or you subtract the parameters, two parameters, then also you will sum the error, because error must have been in the maximized form. Okay, otherwise you have to regret on the future stage or future experiments. That's why it led to plus. Okay, error can never be minus, it's always summed up. Error always increased. Okay, so the error will be 1 into 1%, 3 into 2%, 6% plus 7% plus 2 into 3%, 6%, 13%. 3 into 2, 6. 3 into 2, 6, 12, 13% error. Okay, now next 9. Okay, so the length of the rectangle is 12.324 meter. 2.345 meter, and breadth of the rectangle is 6.78 meter. So what is the half perimeter? Half perimeter is just the sum of the length and breadth. So we will just sum it. 12.345 and 6.78. So let's sum it first. 5, 4 and 8, 12, 1, 4, 11, 1, 7 to 9, 1. Now, as it is about error analysis and significant figure, so we have to find out the sum in the correct way. How correct way? Whenever we will sum that, we'll take the least decimal point. Here it has 3 decimal points. After the decimal points, 3 figures, 1, 3, 4, 5. Here 2. So the result must contain 2 decimal points after 2 decimal figures after the decimal point, because it has less decimal point, 2 decimal point figures. So this result must have also contained 2 decimal figures. So how to just make it 2 decimal figure? We have to round off the equation. Okay, so to round off, the last figure is 5. Okay, so whenever the figure is 5, then we have to consider the preceding figure, preceding digit. Okay, the preceding digit is even, so this 5 will be less, so 1 2 will be remain 1 2. So the result will be 19.12 meter. It will lead to least decimal point. Now we have to calculate the area. So area will be length into breadth. So the area will be 12.345 into 6.78. Okay. Okay. Once again, you can just make it make this round off to the 2 decimal point. Then you can sum it. Then also you will get the same result. Okay. I have already shown the 2 procedure. All the procedures, you can just go any of them, go for any of them. Okay, now multiplying the, okay, taking the help of calculator. Okay, it is quite complicated. We can easily also paper, just using our knowledge, we can also calculate it, but for the time consumption I am taking the help of calculator. Okay, 83.6991. So now in case of multiplication, here we will consider the answer as well, answer similar to the least significant figures. So it has 5 significant figures, it has 3 significant figures, so it has least number of significant figure, least significant figure. So we'll have to make the answer 83.691991 into less number of significance, so 3 number of significance. So this answer must contain 3 significant figures, so we have to round off them. So 3 significant 83.6, so that after that it is 9, so we will make it 83.7 square meter or meter square. So this will contain 3 significant figure, so that will be the right answer. Okay. Okay, last one. Okay, last one is, okay, take it into the next point. So one resistors, 2 resistor we are taking, one having R1 equal to 5 plus minus 0.2 ohm and R2 equal to 10 plus minus 0.1 ohm. Right? Okay, now we have to find out the combination of the series combination of the 2 resistors RS, and we have to find out the parallel combination of 2 resistor RP. So we know the series combination of resistor is given by the formula R1 plus R2 just, and parallel combination is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So first one is very easy. We will just sum them. RS will be 5 plus 10, 15, and we will sum the errors. Okay, this is del R1, this is del R2. Okay, absolute error. And I said about the propagation of error in my theory part, when you are summing to errors, summing to parameters, then the absolute error will be summed up. So you are summing to parameter, then the absolute error will be summed up. That means del R1 plus del R2, right? This is R1 plus R2 and this is del R1 plus del R2. So it will be 15 plus minus 0.3 ohm. Now come to second part. Second part contains 2 parts. One is in multiplication from, one is sum from, and one is division from. Right? So first find out the R1 into R2. So find out R1 R2. We will get the error in R1 R2 will be R1 into R2 plus minus the relative error, sum of relative error. Why relative error? Because I already said that whenever it is in product form, then the relative error will be summed up. So it will be 50 plus minus. Okay, you have to find out the relative error 0.2 by 5, 0.2 by 5, and okay, let's take as percentage error. Okay, make it in percentage error. 0.2 ohm of 5 is how many percent? 5 into 100, it will be 4%. Okay, so del R1 by R will be 4%, and del R2 by R will be, okay, relative error always represented in percentage form. Okay, so it will be easy to calculate. Okay, so del R1 on 0.1 by 10 into 10, 100. So it will be led to a 1% error. So it will make an 4% plus 1% error. So it will lead to a 5% error. Now this R1 R2 and R1 plus R2 are in divided from. So in case of multiplication division, we know the relative error summed up. So we have to find, we already knew the relative error of them. Okay, so it comes to, okay, del 5% is actually the relative error of R1 and R2, right? 5%. Now we have to find out the relative error of R1 plus R2. We know the absolute error of R1 plus R2, which is RS actually. So what is the relative error of R1 plus R2? It will be just R1 plus R2, right? So it will be 0.3 by 15 into 100%, right? So 332%, right? 2%. So now what will be the error in case? So RP will be R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 plus minus, the error will be like that, del of R1 R2 by R1 R2 plus del of R1 plus R2 by R1 plus R2, right? So it will be like that. R1 into R2 will be 50, R1 plus R2 will be 15, plus minus R1 R2 by, already we have find out that part, which is 5%, and plus the relative error of them will be, we have already find out it 2%, right? 2%. So the answer will be 3.33 plus minus 7%. So why I just show you this application? Because this application shows you how to use the propagation of errors. Okay, where to use the propagation of absolute error and where to use the propagation of relative error. Okay, if such composite propagation and relative errors occurs, or the relation is like that, then you have to step by step you have to follow the propagation of absolute error and as well as the propagation of relative error. Okay, whenever the two parameters are summed up, just summation or subtraction, then you have to use the sum of absolute error, and whenever there is a multiplication or division from, then you have to use the relative error summation, the sum of relative error. Okay, so bye for now. Let's see you on the next chapter, next video. Goodbye.